Hey, this is Bill Van Loo. It has been really cold here the last few weeks in Michigan. So cold, in fact, that it's been just about impossible to get out in my workshop. Up here in Michigan, it's been approaching or below zero the last few days, and for the last week, it's been really, really cold. So as many projects as I have stacked up to work on outside in the workshop, those are going to have to wait for a little while until temperatures pick up because unfortunately my shop isn't insulated or heated. So in the meantime, I wanted to show you a few things that I've been working on here. Today we're here in my home office / studio that I share with my wife, who is also an artist and teacher. I'm going to be doing a review of the Amazon Basics DSLR bag, as well as an everyday carry, what's in my bag, so you can see what I use it for, how I use it, and what I carry around. So I hope you enjoy it. One thing to mention about me, I'm the type of person that hates having stuff in my pockets, so the only thing that I'll typically carry on a daily basis is a pair of keys and my phone. So basically everything else that I bring with me rides around in my bag. So it's really important for me to have the right bag. In my work as a maker, teacher, musician, and photographer, I've had to carry gear all over the place and lots of different kinds of gear. For many, many years, I carried this bag. This is a Spire laptop bag. It's made in the United States in Colorado. This has been a great bag for me. I started carrying it in 1999 or 2000, and I carried it all over the country. It has been a great bag, but it's definitely showing some wear and tear in places like the strap, and especially where the strap meets the body. And it's sized perfectly for a laptop and some other things, but it doesn't really have a ton of extra space, especially for photo gear. So for a number of years, I've also been using this Crumpler camera bag as my main bag to shoot from as far as photography stuff. This bag works pretty well for shooting with a small kit. It has a couple of compartments, perfect for putting a DSLR and a couple of lenses or a lens and a flash in there. It's a little bit small though, and what I found was when I was traveling to things like conferences or other big events, I would need my laptop and some gear plus my camera bag completely loaded up, and that just really didn't work so well, especially on times where I had to fly. So a year ago, I ordered the Amazon Basics DSLR Backpack as a way to try and consolidate two bags down into one, and so today I want to show you the Amazon Basics DSLR bag and show you how I use it and what I use it for. Talk about some of the features and talk about some of the things that I like and dislike. First off, as you can probably see, this is a pretty large bag. It is a backpack form factor, which is something that took me a little bit of time to get used to after years and years with across-the-body messenger bag style bags. It has two pretty nicely padded straps as well as a really thickly padded waist strap, which I use occasionally, especially if I'm hiking around with this bag. And it's got a pretty well padded back plate as well. It's not a hard plate, but it's a little bit stiff. There's some structure there, and it's pretty nice padding, so that helps. There's also a really nice strong handle on the top, which I like a bunch. The left side of the bag has a pair of tripod straps as well as a pouch. I use the tripod straps sometimes for a tripod. My particular tripod doesn't fit in there that well, mostly because it's a little too long, and when you set the backpack down, the tripod wants to shift down, and it doesn't seem to work well. I think that's more an issue with the tripod that I have. I probably just need to get a smaller, lighter travel tripod for use with this. I've basically never used the pouch on this side or the pouch on this side. I do occasionally use the tripod straps as a way to clip a water bottle on. I really wish that instead of these pouches they had put, on the other side particularly, I wish they had put a water bottle pouch, because that's something that I travel with basically every day. But it's not there. Looking at the front of the bag first, there are three compartments. This front compartment unzips partway. There are definitely times I wish it unzipped all the way and laid flat, but it doesn't. As you open it up, there's a mesh compartment in the top here, which I find super useful. I use this for all kinds of little odds and ends stuff. So for starters, a little $1 LED flashlight from Harbor Freight. Nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. I also keep an Altoids tin with in-ear headphones. These are the Ultimate Ears 350. I use these for playing music live, and they provide really great isolation, and they're just nice headphones to listen to as well. I also keep a remote for my camera's battery grip in here. This stays put. I carry this all the time, even though I don't use it all that often. When I need it, it's fantastic. It's just a really useful way for doing self-portraiture, as well as for when I have a camera boomed way out, like on a monopod, especially for things where I'm trying to shoot way up high over a group or other things like that. As long as you can aim the remote at the IR trigger on the camera, you can still make it shoot. So that's really helpful. Some other odds and ends: pencils, pens, a microfiber cloth, stuff like that, pack of chewing gum. Inside this main part, one thing that I've used for a couple of years to organize things are these little mesh zippered bags by Vaultz. I keep a small one in here with things like SD cards and flash drives, and a larger one for cables, iPad adapter, a charger for the iPhone, things like that. There's a pocket here. I've been using this for my iPad mini, as well as a notebook. This is the Evernote branded Moleskine notebook. This was a gift from my wife a couple years ago. I like this a lot. The graph paper in here is particularly nice. I use this when I want to jot notes down on paper instead of in digital form. School ID. And there is a little Velcro pocket. I always keep my multi-tool in here. This is a Gerber multi-tool, a little different than the Leatherman that a lot of people seem to prefer, but this has worked well for me. I've had this for probably close to 10 years. I carry it every day in this pocket right here. And then down in the pouch, I also have some zip ties. A lot of times I'll also have a Sharpie with some gaff tape wrapped around it so that I always have gaff tape with me. And that's basically the front compartment of the bag. Now the middle part of the bag does fold flat, and that's a really helpful feature for the most part. One thing I will say about this backpack is it's a great bag to transport a lot of gear in. It's not a great bag to necessarily shoot photos from. And in fact, in a lot of ways, I really prefer the Crumpler $5 Million Home for shooting out of this bag in terms of carrying the bag with me, being able to open the lid of it and grab a lens to switch lenses. That really works if I'm shooting with just a couple of lenses or maybe a flash. So sometimes I might use a hybrid approach where I bring this to shoot out of at a particular event, but this bag really excels at hauling and transporting a lot of gear. So let me kind of show you what I have in it right now as part of my everyday carry, and then talk about how I might use it if it was completely packed out, and show you some examples of that. So one thing that travels with me every day is the BlackRapid R-Strap. This is a really great strap, and I'll take a second here to show you how it works and why I use it. So the main advantage of the BlackRapid R-Strap is that it lets you carry the camera across your body. You can use these tabs to lock it in place so it doesn't move around on your hip while you're walking or moving with it, and then just really quickly bring the camera up to your face and be ready to shoot kind of in one motion. So I like this strap a bunch. I've used it for a couple of years now with my DSLR, and it's a really great strap. So it's definitely something that rides along with me every day in my bag. In addition to the BlackRapid strap, I also have been traveling lately with a little low pro lens case, and inside here is the Canon f1.8 50mm prime lens. You'll notice that I don't have a DSLR in the bag right now, partly because I'm using it to record this video, but also because since this is my everyday carry, I have a Canon DSLR that belongs to the school that I teach for. So when I shoot with that, I'll typically put the BlackRapid strap on that camera, and if I want a really shallow depth of field or I need a fast lens, for not a lot of weight being carried back and forth every day, this little 50mm f1.8 gives me the ability to pop that on the school's camera and get a really different look from that camera. In addition to those things, the only other thing that I carry every single day has been this little tripod. As I mentioned in my OtterBox mod video, this is a GorillaPod kind of knockoff. It has a little clip at the top for mounting your phone onto it, and I use this a bunch. I use this all the time for shooting time-lapse, for shooting with my iPhone as a second camera in the workshop. It's been really useful. At some point I may upgrade and buy the actual GorillaPod, but for now this has been really helpful. One thing that I like about the interior of this bag is that the orange gives a lot of visibility. So much audio gear and camera gear is black that being able to see everything against an orange backdrop has been really, really helpful. I think there's a light gray version available as well, but I'm really glad that I went for the orange. As you can see, the interior of the bag has all these Velcro dividers. And these just pop out, and you can configure this bag in all sorts of different ways. And for me, that's really helpful because I carry this bag every day. I've started carrying it every day back in June. And although I don't always have it loaded out with camera gear, there are definitely times where I need to load it up with just a ton of gear, and that's where this bag really shines. I can load it up with lots and lots of camera gear, a body, a couple of lenses, a flash, battery chargers, all that stuff, and that works just fine. There have been conferences where I've loaded it up with other electronics, like a couple Raspberry Pi computers, Makeys, other electronics. There are times where I need to go into documentation mode and bring an audio recorder, maybe a couple of mics, things like that. And this bag has handled that really well because of the size and the reconfigurability. So I like that feature a whole lot from this backpack. The only feature that's really left to talk about on this bag is the back compartment. This is the one place where when I initially got the bag I wasn't satisfied because almost as soon as I got it, one of the pull tabs on the zippers broke. But besides that, this has been just fine. This back compartment is nice and padded. It has plenty of room for a laptop, which is what I usually keep in there. I usually travel with a 13-inch MacBook. I think there's room in here for a 15-inch laptop. You can check the specs on the website from Amazon to see what they recommend. A 13-inch MacBook fits great, and I would estimate a 15 would do just fine as well. There's plenty of padding, so I'm never worried about it getting damaged while I'm traveling with it. So that's the overview of this bag. I would say, especially for the price, this is really a great option. I looked at a bunch of different bags before I got this, from Think Tank and Low Pro, and lots of the big manufacturers, and I have to say, it's been a great bag. So check it out. Thanks for watching this What's in My Bag Everyday Carry video, and check out my other videos as well, and think about subscribing to my channel for more about making, teaching, photography, and music. Thanks again.